Needed my amp up song. So must mute my side on Twitch if I forget about that. There we go. How everybody doing? Is everybody doing? So hopefully everything's okay. The volume, let me know. I can adjust things if I have to. So alright, Master, how are you doing? Look on away. Glad to have you on board. So yeah, today I am going to be starting a new project. I've finished quite a few over the past month, so enough playing around with that, and then time to get some serious painting done. Not necessarily. So let's get all these bits and bobs in front of me. You can see what we're working with. So there's all his bits primed and everything. So he is Faenir, gunner of the Kraken, or something like that, from Abyssal. Let's see if the angle camera is right. There we go. So it's a little dwarf with a cannon strapped to his shoulder, holding a cigar with eye patch. And then his base, I did some modification on. So I added a few little rocks and everything, so I had some fun with green stuff. So we're gonna start off with the base today because I want to get it basically finished. I can do a resin pour after the stream. I don't want to do that on stream because it's gonna be a little bit of making sure everything is sealed. So what I'm basically gonna do is tape everything together with normal see-through tape, and then make sure all the little gaps is nicely sealed up. And then I'm gonna take, it's kind of like tin foil, I think it's not lead foil, it's like pewter foil, so it's a little bit more stiff, so I can crunch that into that and then wrap it around another time so I don't have any leaks. And then I'm just gonna do a very shallow resin pour with some inks in, just to get some color of the ocean. So that's the plan for today. And I'm doing well, Celery, and yourself? Still busy with your work or not? So I took all of my skin tone colors, but I didn't take any up of my earthy colors. So what I want to do is, my day was all good, not too hectic, but still hectic enough, too hectic for Monday. So let me just quickly see, grab some paints out that we can make some sand textures and rock textures. I have a brown, I don't have a brown leather out already. Those are very two similar colors. Let's see what else we can use. Got some corals. What corals I'll do, and a few nice bright colors, reds and blues. And then for water, thinking this nice blue green, and I've got the blue already there. Let's see how it's going. How's it, Madness? How are you doing? Nice to have you here. So, I'm just gonna pull out my palette, get some of the colors placed. I don't know if I want to do a zenith or not. I don't think it's going to be entirely necessary for what I want to do now. So I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to get some of my darker colors ready. So that's all good, man. Good to have you on board. This color ever been open before? That's just basically gel, which I don't want. The one thing I forgot to get is tissue paper. Get that. Choo. Somebody trying to make me famous. Alright, so nothing too intense for today, I think. Get that there. I'm just gonna get this blue nice and thick on. Dude, they're trying to make me famous and now you're taking away that privilege. Thanks. Let's just move that little piece out of the way. Let's see. Yeah. To be honest, if I wasn't so lazy, I would just spray my cutting mat black and get it over with, because I think that'd be much easier. But then I lose the lines and all that stuff, but I don't really use the lines on the cutting board for anything. It's just that I don't cut into my desk. Yeah, I would just spray mine black. Let's see if this works. If I take some of this blue to help darken it, and also kind of show that it's the water reflecting up. Seems to be working. It's always like that. As soon as you want to bite the bullet for something, then you find out you can't get it because reasons. And you can always call up sword and board of someone. But last time I was there was sold out. Right, I'm just gonna mute my mic and I can get this go over the air dryer. The closest thing I got to ice yellow not being a ice yellow is just taking soul yellow from scale and mixing a lot of white into it, trying to get that balance of enough white, but then it tends to be a little bit too chalky if you want to thin it down or anything like that, so just because of the amount of white in it. You must try harder. And you should ask Julia, I think he bought like 5 or 4 pots the last time he was there, so if you can find a hoarder, you can always try to convince him to sell you a pot. I'm not doing anything too fancy yet. Just want to get some texture into this base coat as well. So let's see. Take a bit of ivory. The struggle continues. So what I'm trying to build up here is that we don't have textures on the sand that much. I'm trying to take a little bit of a book note out of the book of canvas painters where they use a flat bristle brush to kind of give you the impression of that as the sand lays when the beach rolls over, that kind of effect is happening. I'm gonna do something similar with the water underneath. Orchid yellow, I do not have the orchid yellow. I think no, I think I'm lying. I'll have a look now. Orchid yellow, why do I think I don't have that color? Seems to be working, my idea for the sand. Maybe, maybe not. Looks alright. Thanks, Alec. Funny enough, before you started up your stream, today, I was watching some Bob Ross, so maybe that's why I got the inspiration of this today. Just making little sand. It's the new ice yellow. Hey man, how's space? How's it going? Ew. I'm gonna ask the same thing your brother asked you today. I was already at work waiting for stream to watch, but no space to watch. So I was like, okay, guess I'll have to go look for something else then. So let's see. I heard the story on Sal's stream today. Moving is never a fun experience. I think Celery, you would enjoy this color, yeah. So this is your blue-green. For some reason it's looking very baby bluish. But imagine now it's like a more jade color. And mix it in with a, this is your standard blue. Interesting. Ah, you're part of the moving party convoy. That makes sense now. So most of this is going to be underneath the resin anyway, so not too worried about getting it super accurate, just to kind of imply that there's some movement underneath the water. So it looks very poo-poo, but it's fine. Doesn't have to look great. Who outsells Vallejo? I don't know, because the last time I saw something was that Supernova posted a picture of them having 2 massive pallets of Vallejo that just got or what was dropped off at their storefront, so strange that they don't have that uploaded yet. The hunt for ice yellow continues. Let's mix a little bit more of this blue-green. Alright, all good. random Twitch thing. Oh no. Is it laggy or what's going on? Or is it only... I saw that it's only 1080p is available. I was like, oh, too late now. Alright. But there's no quick way for me to change that during the stream, Alright, next one. So it's about that, but we're just painting a base today, so nothing too... Well, if I need to hit 50, you guys know what to do. So feel free to drop a follow if you want to. I'm just here for the chats, so no big leagues required. Yeah, well, Space, you were one of the first guys anyways to be a follower. Still when I just started and then moved over to a little bit of the on the Discord side. But that also has run its course, so now we can go on to bigger things, trying to evolve that stage as well. I don't know what time he finishes, but we'll see how it goes. So we're getting some underwater reflections going. But like I said, this is going to be mostly covered anyway, so it's only going to be visible from a few spots, if I'm lucky. And some nice waves going onto the beach. And I really have to get a piece of tissue paper or something. I just have to clean it off in my wet pellets paper. Very interesting brush actually. It's the first time I was using it now. This one I showed you the other day, Celery. It's just almost like a makeup brush feeling. You can get some nice funny detail work out of it. Alright, let's see how we want to tackle this rock. So I want to mix I want to mix some more bluish browns close to where the water is. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's see, does look very dark, but I'm sure it would work. That seems to be working. Just for the start, we can bump up those colors later. There's cat hair everywhere. You want to redeem a Flanagan? Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Also, it's gonna be a big fluff ball everywhere. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep on adding some of this blue into this brown mix I have. Okay. Start building up this blue reflection on the rocks. And so I'm running around there. It's a nice soft blue, so it's doing what I wanted to do. So even though it's not very saturated, it's still getting the illusion done of the water reflecting. So obviously that's going to be more in shade, so I don't need the rocks to be super saturated. I need more of the idea of a reflection coming off. And then I can also do some of this here. Oh, this is mostly going to be underneath the water. This will just help to get some of that color on as I go off camera. Very nice. Alright, now I can start working on the... Yeah, what I did basically was use the original brown, add some of the blue for the water, and then just took a little bit of that and added that into the mix. So I get a nice desaturated blue reflection underneath. I'm also just gonna quickly BRB and I can get some tissue paper. Also I'm gonna be sweating glazes like celery for all the paint eating. let us continue. So now I can slowly start building up these rock textures and seeing that this brush works so nice with the sand. I might as well use it for the rocks. So I'm just going to take a nice part of that, lighten that up, take some of this ivory. Get most of that off my brush. A lot of up and down textures so that the textures can yeah boy. Thanks Clark for the follow, glad to see you here. I was waiting for that. 15 minutes, what are you waiting for? Is the food coming in 15 minutes, I presume? So basically letting the brush pick out all the spots I sculpted on here. It being a very flat brush, I don't have to worry too much of it going into some of the recesses. Need to support. Okay. All good, man. So there's a very small value jump in this color. Seeing how it kind of blends in when it dries, I can be a little bit more aggressive with the paint. Like I said, nothing too crazy for today. I just want to get this base done that I can do a resin pour, and then see if I'm happy with it, and then we can move on to the actual figure. But in the future, or in the past, I always realize my bases I leave for last, and then I tend to not give them too much attention, and then they end up bringing the whole piece down. The reason I'm going to use is that normal PNA resin, so it's really not for deep pours. Excuse my English if it does break a lot. It will tend to happen during the stream. I struggle enough just speaking Afrikaans, so my language skills is not the greatest. So I'm just going to do this rock, and then I'll pull out that resin I bought so you can have a look. So it's just a 1 part to 1 part of the hardener and the resin. So let's see. So this is the resin I'm going to be using. So it's just from P&A, and it was basically the cheapest one I could find there. So, but they do specify at the back that, where is it? It is made for very shallow pores. So just to keep that in mind, that you don't end up having something that it doesn't want to set really well. So that's the reason I'm going to be using. So hopefully it works out, but yeah, I don't see it not working. If I was doing something deeper, I would go for a little bit more aimed market resin that is made to do some deep pores. So let's get most of that off. So again, you can see it's quite stark at the moment, but as soon as it starts drying, it's gonna get a lot more subtle. And I also want to do some inks over this, so it brings in some different colors like greens and slight blues, everything you do find on rocks at the beach. So this is a lot more chilled for today. Like I said, I did a lot of projects last month, to my surprise, because I'm doing a show on our Discord for all of the painted stuff. So I was just having a look of how many stuff was posted over the month. So then I came to the conclusion I actually painted 5 models from the previous show, so it's quite shocking. It was a good feeling to have. Because yeah, I was thinking I was painting my previous project for about half a month. Technically it was half a month, but I felt like it was a lot longer, because the one weekend I didn't paint at all, because I was busy prepping this model last weekend, so I didn't get much painting done. So I thought, well, geez, it's going to take a while to get the model done. And then ended up not being an issue really. So as we add white or ivory to this mix the whole time, it's going to get more and more desaturated. So that is an issue, but we're going to resolve that with bringing in inks to reinduce some different colors, interesting hues. So gonna go one step brighter, because you know when I really lose all of that, just adding a little bit more ivory into that mix we had now. Get that really worked into the brush. So the brush is nice and dry actually now, so we can get into all those little raised areas. If I don't go off camera. Still gotta get used to that again, because I'm used to having somebody scream in my ear if I do go off camera, so please forgive me. Oh, we got seagulls in the earphones while we're doing a beach and ocean, so it's a nice little surprise. Now that we got that rocks a little bit more up, now you can actually see the reflections of the ocean I was trying to put in there and underneath the rocks. It's very subtle, but I think it does work very nicely. We don't want it to be too overpowering. So what I actually want to do is I want to grab a little bit of a lighter color. I might just mix. Nah, let's just make it easy. Just keep on mixing a little bit of this ivory. Let's put a little bit of that original Japanese or English uniform back in, so we get a little bit of a more sandy color, so it's not that dry and boring looking. Just going around, and I need a little bit more of this ivory. So hopefully, as you can also see, Clive, I mean, that you are new to the Discord and everything, and you only caught a few of the Discord streams with the hobby hangouts. I don't really, if you can look at my palette, I put just down a few colors and then I just go with what I have at the moment. So I do just all my mixing like that, so I don't really care too much at this stage. I just take colors what I want to at the moment, and then I go from there, so that just frees up the creative process, if you want to call it that, a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I'm just painting to have fun. I had enough models where I thought I had to do a lot of more effort, or I did put in a lot more effort and try to be very precise about everything, and they ended up being some of the more weaker projects. So this brush is nice and dry now, so I can really go to town. That the lightest paint is just grabbing those raised areas. I'm gonna do a final one here, then you can do some little bit of a ink glaze here and there just to bring in some interest. So usually before my ink glaze I like to go a little bit more lighter than I want to, because this is going to dull down a little bit more, but now I just want to focus on the most visible areas, so I'm going to go into all the little small nooks and crannies, so everything that's going to be catching the sun nicely. I want to grab that, because then I'm going to bring in some interest. Let's just do a little bit of there and a little bit on this side. All good, Spacebar. Just glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. Lurk away. Let's clean off this brush a little bit more. I actually like this brush. Ether, good to have you as well. We should like have a goal or something every time all three brothers join. We should have some emote spam or something because that tends to happen a lot. So I think that's something we can work on. Alright, so inks that I have too much of, so I'm gonna zoom out here a little bit. So inks, we're looking for some nice greens, stuff like that. Greens and blues usually the colors I want to go for now. So let's see. There's a few pots I have not even used yet, so should be interesting. That is green stuff, putty, that's not what we want. I've got a black green from Vallejo. See if I can spot that color. Just mute my mic before you guys go. Ah yeah, thank you. So I'm going to do a slight resin pour to really get my English right. If I could talk Afrikaans I would, but that's not how this game works. So I think I'm gonna first do a few greens and then play around with this blue. So I've got some murky colors in there. Let's not slam the keyboard in the drawer. So got a black ink, an olive. Yeah, so this one is a good example. So this is just an ink, so you can see all the separation of the different pigments. So it's usually good to give them a little shake, and most of my stuff do have agitators in, so I'm just gonna give this green and this black a good shake before I put them out on the palette. Ether, you should know, what's Twitch's policy about vaping and smoking stuff on stream? Before I make a very critical mistake further into the future, because I only noticed that now. Thanks man, I really appreciate that. Because the last thing I want is to get banned while we're trying to make the move towards Twitch. Or get a few warnings. Alright, so this one has not been opened up yet, so that's a nice color. GW and the stupid little bottles. Well, that should be enough. So the inks I can just leave there. Not that model. This one. Twitch guidelines enough. To advise against it. Alright. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna take this light blue color I have here. Let's see. So it's very translucent. So I'm gonna apply that underneath the rocks, so it kind of gives that greenish blue feel from the reflections. So this is gonna alter the color and make that blue a little bit stronger, just because the two pigments isn't really fighting against each other. now we got a little bit of a blue hue and everything under that, so that's nice. So this black green is very potent, so I'm just gonna add a drop of water there at the start. I'm not really gonna clean out this brush because it is so light anyways. Get most of the excess off. This we want just in the more shadow areas or mid shadows. I'm just going to bring in some interesting darker greens for us. Underneath this little lip here. I'm actually quite happy that I sculpted these rocks on top and turned out too bad. So that's a win. Now this other green I have a slight feeling has some white in it, so it might screw around a little bit what we're trying to do. So good thing to do always is just to check how this ink is. We thin it out. Check on our nail. Seems to be fine. Don't think that's going to give us any issues. And this we just want to spread out. Get some water. So I want all those little green spots in there. Almost looks like moss being gathered. And then we're going to be painting blues and reds on these. So you can try to get all those nice tones in there as well. Alright, so I'm just gonna go in with the hairdryer, get this dried off. Alright, we've got some funky colors going on. Let's see where we can do some improvements. I'm going to give it another slight pass with the dry brush over the top, so this paint is already nice and tacky and sticky now, so that's perfect. If I went in with a wet brush, that would reactivate the paint. That's not what we want now, so we're just going to be focusing on the most raised areas. I'm back, baby. Woo. So this one podcast I watch, Your Mom's House. They get these random people they showcase on their show, and there's this one guy where he's from Iowa or something, but he says he's like this Italian Guido guy, but he goes into a slight sudden decline in his mental state where he starts doing drugs and stuff. But anyway, but besides the point, when it was still funny and not sad. I'm gonna show you now either. He sent in a few, or they found videos rather, but then he's like, don't drink and drive, it's bad, baby. So every time when I hear I'm back, I hear in that type of Italian accent or something. I don't know. That's how my mind works. For me, it's funny. That's all. The Aussie dude. No, it's not an Aussie dude. It's some other random guy. Alright, so either this is a base for Faenir or Faenir, the gunner of the Kraken. So he stands with his 1 foot on top of the rock. His little peg goes in there, and then he has a big fuck off cannon on his shoulder. So that's what the base is for. So yeah, this is also 3D printed by Madness. So very nice sculpt from Abyssal. So he's gonna be fun. I already got a few ideas. It's got a lot of round features, so where other stuff usually has a lot of armor and stuff, you've got a lot of round surfaces to do nice smoother gradients where you don't have to go too crazy, but also where you need it, like in between the bicep and the tricep, you can also put a lot of nice shadows in there and all of that. So that's gonna be fun. And then he's got a very opposite back towards his front side. So this is how you want to look during summer, but this is the sad reality during summer. So, where you got like a boopy. So let's see. I'm gonna start painting the little corals. Let's clear up my throat. So I now want them red and blue, and so what I think I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna stick more towards the red side. So I'm gonna start off with some Indian shadow, which is a nice dark red brown. I'll put a little bit on that on the palette, and then I want a nice little stipple type of brush because I don't want to be base coating these ones, so just a nice little flat head. Make it a little bit wet and then dry that completely off on a tissue paper. So I might look like I'm drowning the model in paint or the little sea urchins, but we are gonna be working in this paint, so do not stress, my friends. You done with your work yet, Celery? Enough Monday work vibes for today? Still waiting for it. Obviously. Armory. So this is definitely not the strongest color. My issue is I wanna use this Indian shadow as a starting point for my flesh on my dwarf. Just for the reason it's a pirate, so he's seen a little bit more sun, so that jump's gonna be a lot more darker browns. So let's get this going. You can be busy painting your dragon and getting that thing done. Did you have enough dragon action for one day? When is your other models coming, your comp piece and all of that? It looks like the second cut goes on a lot better than the first one. Alright, so I get it. Let's give another go of the hairdryer. So I need to get something where I just have a mute button on my keyboard. I always forget about it. Thanks, Ether. Ah, here's that color Deno was talking about. Yeah. Bad name for orange. So yeah. It is a Spanish company, but yeah. Not a good name to give a paint. Yeah. I know, right? Not good. And I think this color has not been opened up yet, so just when you think you have friends, then something like that happens and you're like, come on guys, what the fuck? Yeah. So you learn. I should just get in the habit of actually looking at what's going on my headphones, because it does show when my mic is muted. But yeah, it's already bad enough that you guys have to look at my face while I paint, so I would not want to watch my own stuff, so. Anything about these fantasy colors, they are very transparent. So it does take a while for them to build some opacity. So yes. Yeah, boy. Thank you, Curb's mom, the follow. I could not resist putting in stupid noises for alerts, because it just makes me laugh every time I hear stupid stuff like that. I didn't put in the whole audio clip because the part before that is a little bit too raunchy, because it talks about wetting your meat with olive oil, and then yeah, there's the yeah boy. It's the chef guy. He looks at the camera and says, yeah boy. It's the little things in life. Yeah, Ainsley. It was the guy who had him in the background for a long time. I can't remember. That's quite funny. uh, let's see. Let's take some scuffs on his skin tone. I must imagine that's the only nice thing about having a separate mic to your headset, because every time you shake, you just feel like you're shaking the whole world around. This is probably going to be a lot stronger. Yeah. I felt so silly today after the streams, all the ones I watched, because I asked Dana as well to give me some feedback on the model I painted, and the first thing he said was the hair, and I was like, okay, I really missed the ball on that one for some reason. I completely forgot about it, and then I was curious to see what you would say, Celery. And then the first thing you said was the hair. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me this and I could have looked better? So if I can blame anyone, I can only blame Celery. It's gonna be my go-to. The shoulder thing is weird. It's such a round surface because I don't want to highlight it the boring way of, say, you would highlight a Space Marines pauldron or whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about. So I didn't want to do that. So I thought that would work, but yeah, it's hard having two different light sources and stuff. But yeah, it's how we learn. Yeah, I know. Saturday was a vibe because I basically finished the other 30% of the model by the time you saw any other pics again. It's back in there. If you can't find it, you know, send it again. Let's see. Share this one under the camera. So it's more of a viewing angle perspective thing what I was going for. So if you guys were looking at the camera from this side of the model, you kind of see some of the things. So I was trying to play more of the perspective of stuff. But yeah, that's the only way we learn. Right. But yeah, I think if I kept some of the stuff like that, but then just added a very harsh highlight over the top, it would have been better. And then obviously the eyes as well. It's just such small eyes for perspective. That's a paint bottle. So yeah, not the easiest things, man. But yeah, at least she is done now, because the first time I failed very badly trying to get it painted. And then the other fun one. This is how you paint the dragon fast. So it was also fun. He, she, dragon bee. But yeah. It's all about learning. That's always the thing that irritates me, because if I take this model, even though it wasn't painted great, at least I painted his eyes right. So I don't know why I went full derp. It's not the greatest eyes, but the two dots of the reflection is at least on the same side of the eyes, not going one side and the other side. So yeah, very clever boy. Alright, let's see. I want to do a little bit brighter without completely smashing my brush against it. And then we can do a slight ink wash just to get that saturation up. Go away, muggy. What's a muggy in English, eh? Don't even know. That's fine for now. Get the brush clean off. Well, we're already 1 hour and 30 minutes in. So it's gonna become a slight issue. So let's take this very shitty, used in all the languages. Go to Siberia, look at these muggies. See, one of the most useless paints from the shading series. This isn't a contrast paint, so it does make a little bit of sense, but yeah. Orange is already a weak color, but now you would experience something beyond weak. And let's get that on. Look at that. Such a weak contrast shade. Alright, take out the cat here. Let's that saturation back. Tell me what you think, Celery. What needs more attention? I like the blue underglow reflections. Diode is looking good. Yeah, I think a variation would be a little bit more better. So let's see what color we get. If we just take this lightest color and some of this blue. That would work. So let's see. Maybe just give it a hairdryer go over this. So let's take out the other brush maybe. I can use this one. So I'm gonna mix a more usable paint. So I'm gonna go some of this, some of that. Let me see. All right. Good call. So what I might do is purple. This purple is maybe too strong. Or is it other light purple? Do I have a light purple close by? Oh, let's use this. Oh, look at that beautiful colors from Army Painter. Might boost the purple again. Get some of these coral painted up. Pulling the. You can't get ice yellow, so why are you buying more paints? You can't get ice yellow. I will make a plan. That looks better. Let's add some more pastel blue in between as well. So let's take this color, add more white to it, and maybe desaturate it with this sunny skin tone to give you an idea. from where you're buying. Supernova. Can get that other bust I want. That one on the Miniature Art Academy. Now this car just looks like Fruit Loops, but that's okay. We will deal with it. Alright, let's see what else is. Nothing wrong with some Fruit Loops on your base. Alright, so we've got 20 minutes left. So I'm just trying to see what else can maybe add or not add. I don't want to go overboard, so let's put in some depth in between these spots. So I'm thinking, let's go with this black green we have, and then just drop it in here just to get some nice separation. From the rest of the base. Just to add some depth. Yeah, now that's at least a little bit darker and they look like they're popping a little bit more. I'll just add some of this. And some of these deepest parts. Base is on fire, my dude. Get lit. And I know the crabs also going to be sitting here, so I actually want to, because you can kind of see the indents of the crab when I was doing the base. Kind of stuck him on this spot. I can actually darken this down as well. I don't struggle with that later. And then maybe around on the feet area as well. Just around where his foot is, just to imply that there's actually some shadow being casted. No, it's gonna be around there. And there. Okay, let's make some more there as well. Oh, now it looks a lot better. Not gonna touch this area too much because I don't want it too dark when I do the resin pour. So I'm quite interested to see how this goes. So he'll see me in a happy mood tomorrow or in a very sad mood. So what I think what would work best is that I'm gonna dry this off, and then we're just gonna do a few matte coats over top, so that if there's any wet paint or anything like that, that it doesn't react with the resin. Because I've seen a few videos where the water in the inks and stuff reacts with the resin, and then things doesn't go too well. So let's just zoom out, and then we give this a blow. I think I can bump up this water a little bit more. So what I want to do is take a smaller brush, not that small. Let's take this one. No, just want a normal brush so I don't have to clean so much. Ah, kom je werk. I just want to add some more lights in the spot where the water refracts the most. I'm just going to mix a nice thicker paint. And obviously paint on the camera, not off camera. How much work you got now? Too much on a Monday night. About 2 hours of work. Not lekker, man, not lekker. And now we got some more brighter spots. Alright, now I'm just gonna pull out the airbrush, slap myself with a hose. I need to get some quick disconnecting connectors. Yup. With the hose. We're not gonna slap each other with our hoses today. Not today. Switch this thing on. Yeah. So I did record a video yesterday, so it didn't sound like the compressor was too loud, so just give a shout if it's a little bit too loud. Alright. Take this piece of tissue paper. Earthquake commences. And let's just dump there. Satisfying sound. Dump the excess in there. So that's nice and matte. So the nice thing about it being super matte for now is when we come back in after the resin pour, gotta get that right sometime, that we are going to have a nice matte surface to work from, and then when the resin is dry, that's obviously going to be glossy. So what that allows us to do, big brain moments, nothing over the top. A lot of people figured out that before me. So when the resin is poured, the nice thing that we're going to have is that the water is going to be wet, obviously the one glossy, not wet, but then we can have add some gloss varnish over the top of, say, the corals and stuff, and have little areas where water is collected. And then over that you take your gel medium, which I have right here, so clear gel. So what you do with this is you mix that with your, see if I have it close by. Where is it? Here it is. So you have these products, which is used for snow, but what you can also use for waves and making water a little bit more visible. So you have your crushed glass. So the one is a little bit more coarse than the other one, so you just mix these two. So gel's gonna dry, but you're still gonna see the glimmer and have a little bit of texture where this dries up. So look at all these products, man. So then you can have some, then we can actually have some fun where we introduce some little waves with, say, you can put it on and then you take the airbrush and you just blow it so it makes little waves as it goes over the surface. So you can have it where it kind of works its way up to the rocks. And then if you want to get real fancy, you can take a piece of clear plastic and poke it in somewhere with some gel medium and have it look like a wave is breaking. So I'll probably do that around his leg areas and some spots. So now let's see if I can prep this while we're still here. So I want to take this and then I'm gonna make a little dam around it. So the little trick I saw yesterday was that you kind of take your tape and you fold it on top of each other. So you fold it on half, but you leave a part of the sticky side exposed, so that you just make sure that the resin doesn't flow out of that. So it's definitely what we do not want. Rip headphones, rip everything. So I'm just gonna stick that there, take my X-Acto, and then I wanna just cut that there. Don't fall on top of yourself, please. Thank you very much. So, what you want to do is fold it on top of itself, so there's a part which is sticky and a part which is not sticky. So, what I want to do, this might even be a little bit too high. Yeah, boy. Thank you for the follow. Now we in need of, let's see. I'm just gonna call you Navi. Thank you for the follow. So we're just busy up ending the stream on the end. And Sally, I see that you are lurking, so good luck with your late night works. So what I want to see is if I can somehow have this not fold on top of itself. Let's put you there. Struggles. So we're not going for a very deep pore, so I'm just gonna cut this down in the more or less in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just don't want that big of a lip. I'll make sure that that's all nicely flat on itself. I'm not ending yet, so can still stick around. I'm just gonna see if I can MacGyver this piece where I want it to be. So this doesn't have to be perfect. Just want a solid seal around. Squish that in there. And have that in there. Yeah, boy. Good, Jera. Welcome to the stream. Just doing some badly resin pouring prepping here. So, you know what? Let's try. The tape is for the resin, so if this base was completely nice and round, it would make my life a lot easier. But I do have this rock protruding out from the side, this one here, so that's where my biggest headache is. We have to try to get it nice and flush enough to a point where I know it wouldn't leak on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that there up until where it touches each other. And then shred that piece off. Come on, you bastard. This piece might be useful. So let's stick you over there. I think I might have to do this over just so that I know there's no leakage gonna be. Yeah, I've been collecting a lot of nonsense over the years. I have a whole 2 drawers just full of random crap that I might use one day or might not use one day, so let's try that again. So I'm not going to fold it on top of itself because that's causing most of the issue. This playlist is awesome. It's quite nice. I want to keep it to myself. I was joking. I'll share the tunes if you want them, so Larry. Alright. What's this saying? I'm not going to try go for 3 times the charm, but we'll see how this goes. So instead of wrapping itself over, let's see where's the best place maybe for us to start at. So I'm thinking let's go against, you know, get that straightened out as much as we can. What we want is a nice seal against this rock, you know, that can go over the top of each other. The only issue I have is this little part here. That is on the back end, so I'm not gonna stress too much about that. As long as I have a proper seal around, then I'm happy. And another thing we can add that's fine. I'm not too worried as long as the front end's nice and round, then I'm happy. So I'm gonna grab extra. It's just a rubber band. And put that around as well. Just to make sure that if this adhesive just start to give in while the resin is setting, that it doesn't unadhere on itself and go crazy. Work with me. Because that's the last thing we want to happen is resin running down the little plinth. And in doing that we kind of destroy our tape. But that should ensure that the resin doesn't make its way down. Alright. Let's go a little bit over time, then we can get this over and done with. So let's see. So the resin we'll be using is just this epoxy resin kit. So now it's just one part to one part. Yes, it is one part to one part. So I need a small little piece of plastic or cup to mix that from. That's all my dirty ones. What I might do is do this. I'm gonna use this just to mix that in. Alright, I'm gonna take my last drag because I don't want to be inhaling too much of this stuff. And what we also want to do maybe is see if we got a mad lad technique. We must know too much mad laddery. I'm gonna take a blue ink for that. We're not gonna need a lot. I don't have a shot glass somewhere. Glass one. I don't think I have a clean one anymore, that's more the issue. Let's quickly see if I have an extra one. It is party time, my dudes and gals. The only two clean shot glasses I have. Just enough what I need it for. So we do not stress, my dude. So got my little stirring stick as well. So I don't know how much you can shake this stuff up. Doesn't feel like you can really shake it up. So let's just be on the safer side. At least try not to inhale everything. We don't need a lot really. Celery, are you ready for something? Come here. Look at my cat. Alright. Let's get this cup level. You can see how much we have in here. Alright, so you really don't need a lot. Oh, cat knows, eh? very accurate work you're doing, yeah. Then we want to make sure this is nice and shield closed. We don't waste all of that. And we want some blue ink. My toothpicks is nowhere to be seen. So, yeah. Let's see where my toothpicks are. Where's my toothpicks? I had them yesterday. Yeah, fuck it. Just use this toothpick here. Alright. So we want to take just a little bit. Let's put it on the dry piece of the palette. And we literally just want a small dab. Let's take a little bit more. There we go. Let's take this. I'm gonna mix this up. It smells like resin, like when you go to fun sale. All he's doing is 3D prints. We've got a lot of bubbles in here, but we'll sort that out in a second. I don't know if we have enough actually. I might have screwed the pooch on this one a little bit. It is heavy breathing, bro. Well, if it's not enough, we can just add. Yeah, boy. Rising. What? Welcome. I'm still getting used to reading all the names in chat. So let's just go. And go get our starting point. Let's start teasing this around. we are doing a resin pour fun sale. I think I might have a little bit too much, so let's sacrifice a pipette just to suck some of this out. I can tease this out a little bit. I don't want it creeping up too much on this side. So I think I'm going to leave it as is. Get a knots close up on that. So it's on the level I want. The only thing is, obviously, as it builds tension up to the edges, it starts creeping up. But as long as it doesn't overflow anything, I'm happy with that. And plus, we're still going to go over it with some gloss medium stuff and things like that. So let's put that on. Yeah. And we're gonna hopefully see how it dries. It's not too many bubbles. There's some, but nothing too big, so I'm not too stressed about that. So let's put these there, and at least I can poke that little glass, shot glass, tomorrow to see if it's hardened enough. Put that in the bin, and then just check the instructions again. So I say starts to cure in 4 hours and then 24 to 48. So we'll see how that goes, and then we can go on from there tomorrow. So if it's not dry tomorrow, then at least we'll get a head start on starting with the model. So let's just put that back in there, and then I can put that there. And then we are ready to raid someone. So I don't know if my raid commands actually works. So that should be interesting. Zelir, I need your help, man. How do you raid? Now you say, huh? Need some UV resin from you. Next time, fun. So if it works, I'm gonna be doing it a lot more, and then we'll be doing that process. Actually, wanted to see if this works. Does this work? That's fine for now. So let's find somebody to raid. Alright, so what do you say? Just find someone and raid them. Let's see. And obviously I get an ad, so let's chat for a little while the ad is running. So, alright, so slash, is it / I presume, eh? Dead one, not dead one. Dab. Let's never do that again. So pressing slash raid Merlin models. So can I just say, is it forward slash? Because I don't know which slash it is. So yeah, okay. I see there comes the all the commands. Alright, so raid, yeah, and then in brackets. Is it in brackets? Or just raid and then the person's name. Let's see if this would work. Does it have to be okay? Just business name. Alright, no brackets. Alright, before I do the rookie mistake of saying send and then we go off, I just want to thank everybody for joining. It's exciting times starting on Twitch again, moving from the Discord. So yeah, it's good to be back. Good to have people watching again, and then hopefully tomorrow doesn't start with tears where I have to try and fix a base because I really like that base how it turned out. So the Fruit Loop base continues tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes, and then I will see most of you tomorrow anyways on your own stream. So Ether, Space, Celery, check you guys tomorrow, and then have a good night, and then lastly just stay safe, and then we'll see each other tomorrow. So let us raid. All good. Tomorrow is always another day, so we'll do that. So we are going to raid. I don't know how to take a photo of that thing when you ask, but yeah. And then we can, alright, so actually have a raid now option again. So see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.